How's it going, guys? It's Burgas here and welcome to another Heroes of History Epic Empire video. Today we're going to talk about the spells or abilities in general. One of the things in Heroes of History Epic Empire is how many fights are decided before combat even start. Not because of the power difference, but because the players misunderstand what the game is actually calculating. And the dangerous part is, the description looked clear initially, until one word quietly changed the entire battlefield outcome. It's going to be about the wording, because every hero is having different skills, which, is playing with the defense, is playing with the HP, is playing with a lot of attributes. It can be in form of buff, debuff, targeting, basically everything in Heroes of History Epic Empire. Now the wording trap most players never notice. Now the lowest HP and the most missing HP sound almost identical emotionally. And that's why I actually opened this hero, Mochizuki. Her spell is deal some single target damage to the enemy with the lowest HP. So by lowest is calculating by number, prioritizing hero. So if your tank is having like let's say 100 HP left, but is having like 10,000 HP in total and have the biggest HP, this hero is going to target your tank because it's the enemy with the lowest HP, and is going to calculate all the numbers on the battlefield and see where is the lowest HP. Normally when the fight starts, since Mochizuki is extremely fast hero, by the way, look at the ability. Initial charge 5.1, regular charge is like 6 seconds. She's going to, the first time, majority of the cases, going to target some DPS because by default the heroes behind is having the lowest HP from what you put as the tanks in the front lines. But this is one of the things that I want to point out, and this is with the lowest HP. So the lowest number from all of your heroes. Now here we have some other hero. This is Ashoka the Great, eternalized version. Normally it's a 3-star hero. Heals the ally with the most missing HP. With the most missing HP for some percentage, 1000%. And this is something that I observe with the heroes. But here you see lowest HP and most missing HP sound almost identical. Strategically, they create completely different fights if you think about it. One target fragile heroes, the other targets damage frontline heroes, and that tiny wording difference completely changed the team behavior. Now, why this creates a false strategies? Let's start from there. What fascinates me was how many players built entire arena setup around incorrect assumptions. The report look inconsistent, so players start blaming RNG or bugs. But the mechanics is often functioning correctly. The misunderstanding exists inside the interpretation, not the combat. So yeah, this is one of the things with the Heroes of History Epic Empire is you have to read the abilities very carefully. I see this misunderstanding over and over again. People write me in the Discord assuming that this hero is having some bugs or something else that is completely not right, especially when I see for which hero they're talking about. I see misunderstanding with the taunts, I see misunderstanding with the HP, I see misunderstanding about what is to taunt all of the units, what is to taunt only the troops and not the heroes. I mean, there is so many hidden mechanics when you check it out one ability, even though that one hero is having like one ability, but you have to be extremely careful there. And the other thing that actually is misunderstanding is misleading, if I can actually use this word, is visuals. Now, why visuals create fake confidence? One of the dangerous things in strategy games is that animation create emotional certainty. So the moment you see something, you're like 100% sure that this is that way. Players trust what looks correct. Strong players question what the system prioritizes underneath the visuals. And this creates huge gap between the casual understanding and the competitive understanding. Most players never revisit their first assumption after reading a skill once. And I think many players are actually guilty of this. You just read the skill one time and you assume you know everything. You already have something like this hero is doing that. And to be fair, in like 80, close to 90% from the cases, you're going to be right. Let's say 80% from the times you're going to be right. The moment you read one skill, you're going to, from first time, understand. I mean, strongly depends, how the spells are presented. But since I'm making this video, I see many players actually misunderstanding the spells in Heroes of History Epic Empire. And this is maybe something that the devs should take a note, or at least give a little explanation here, because sometimes players just don't understand the skills correctly and they start thinking this is a bug. Now let's talk about the hidden gap between description and gameplay. The strange part is that some mechanics technically work correctly while still communicating badly. Players interpret towards emotion instead of mechanically. Taunt, target, ally, always missing. Teeny word difference silently change. Now let's talk about why advanced players test everything manually. Now strong players don't trust description blindly. They watch pattern repeatedly. They isolate variables. They test positioning, timing, and strategic logic. Because one incorrect assumption quietly affects every future strategic decision. And this is something that I'm trying to do with my videos. As you know, I don't have, for example, videos for all of the heroes. I'm trying to have videos only over the heroes I can test. What I mean by test is either I can test them in the arena, either I can test them on other places where I can clearly see what the ability is doing. I can clearly see what the damage is going to be done by the target. Because I'm going to give you, by the way, one example where I get a little misleaded. It's about the Maria Curie. If you check out her ability, it's not actually looking like something crazy. It's like 155% area of damage. And this poison and this burn damage is not something crazy because it's for 8 seconds. So I assume that this hero was not that good in form of how much damage it's going to do, until I actually test Maria Curie on the battlefield, until I actually face her and etc., until I actually get her and I can actually make a video over her, how good she is. Before that, I was huge supporter of Medusa. Till this day, I'm huge supporter of Medusa, but this is one of the spells that from first look I'm like, are you sure about it? This hero is not doing actually that much damage, but I didn't count how the initial charge, I didn't count the regular charge, didn't count the whole damage. And that's why I didn't actually make a video about the Maria Curie. And I just don't trust the description blindly. And yeah, I also don't go for isolate test case scenario with one hero when I'm testing the hero before I make a video over it. But this is still not the biggest problem. The misunderstood mechanic don't only lose individual fights, they create misinformation ecosystem. One wrong interpretation spread through Alliance chat, Discord, Reddit, and YouTube. Suddenly, thousands of players are optimizing around something the game never actually said. That's why it's extremely important for you as a player to test everything by yourself. You can get some ideas, even from me. You can get some ideas And if you have a chance without actually spending tons of resources to test the ideas you hear, it's going to be perfect and you're going to see the outcome. And you can decide, is this actually good or not that good? But be extremely careful, especially with the Heroes of History Epic Empire, about the information and how this this is just the dangerous part, that some misunderstanding is important. How vocal is this person who actually gets this misinformation, and it can create an ecosystem where one wrong interpretation spread through, again, Discord, Reddit, YouTube, alliance chats, and etc. So yeah, just wanted to open this topic about the skill description, because I see this problem over and over again in Heroes of History Epic Empire. And people expect something to happen, but in the same time, completely different thing happen. I understand not everybody's like native English speaker or don't understand everything what is, you know, provided on the screen. But just test it. Just test it for yourself before you go heavily investing in one hero. But heavily investing, understand going with the food, going with the session materials, and all these things. So far, this will be for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit one like, subscribe for more Heroes of History Epic Empire videos. Wish you a great day. See you in the next video.